What's going on, guys? Welcome to another powwow. Now, this last week's been an adventure just because I've been sick, still getting over it. I did miss the top 5 video. I apologize, guys, but I am doing this powwow today for you guys. So hopefully that will be good for you. So today's powwow is actually going to be about cars. I've been wanting to do this one for a bit. Reason for it is because, you know, I'm a big car guy myself. And you know, I like talking about cars whenever I can. So, cars. Well, let's get started with what is my favorite car. Well, I can tell you right now, my favorite car is a Dodge Challenger, Hellcat, or a Red Eye. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the super brand new ones. I mean, yeah, they're cool, but I prefer like a 2013, 2014, just because of the sheer fact that like they were built a bit better. And I know this sounds weird, but I'm not a huge fan of like a ton of technology in the vehicle. Now, granted, our car that we drive now has a bunch of technology in it, but that's about as far as I would like to go. I mean, if I can't help it and I have to get something with more technology, obviously I'm never going to complain. However, I will have my doubts about it because, you know, a lot of cars that have more technology are weaker in terms of their overall capability and reliability. And the reason I say that is because if you lose, let's make a good example, I guess. Let's say you have a digital dash where your dials and everything, where it shows your speed, how many RPMs you're going, that kind of thing, where it shows you where it's at. Let's say that's all digital. If you have a fuse that blows, right? Or not even a fuse. If you just have your electronics screwing up, that might not work at all. And there are some cars who only rely on digital like screens to tell them. You know, I'm not a huge fan of electric cars. I'll say that now. I know electric cars can be better for the environment in some ways. There have been studies that have proven that overall they're really not that much better. They're just about the same as gas. But it's still kind of a new development too, because cars in general being electric it's still a pretty new concept. But the reason I'm not a huge fan of electric vehicles and too much technology is, one, because it fails too easily. There's too much room for failure. And yeah, I know you can watch commercials all day and every day, and they're gonna spit to you that this car has the capability of going up mountains, going down mountains, rock climbing, mudding, and you can relax in your nice fancy car with this big 12-inch screen and that kind of thing. Okay, but you hit a rock wrong, okay, and those electronics, or you hit a mud pit too deep and those electronics are done. Or if you don't have satellite, if your car can't reach satellite, you can't use most of the features on that vehicle anyways. So there's a lot of give and take with it. Another thing, I really miss the steel bodies. Steel body cars were my favorite because they were not only more reliable, but not only could you get through stuff with them, you get into a wreck, anything, you're pretty much safe. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some bad steel bodies, trust me. I know there were some horrible steel bodies, but like the older Ford F-150s steel bodies that we actually used to own a Ford F-150. We call it Titan. It was a beautiful truck. God, it was such a beautiful truck. I believe it was a 2002 Ford F-150. We painted it black and white. We put a modified exhaust on it, all that kind of cool stuff, and we loved that truck. However, it had a lot of issues that we couldn't afford at the time, and so we decided to that it was best to probably sell it. But overall, it was a great truck, and I will never complain about it. Yeah, but going back to the very beginning, my favorite car would be a Dodge Challenger. I will say this now. I am in no way, shape, or form supporting Dodge fully. The reason I say that, one, Dodge's Chargers and Challengers are really good vehicles. They've been made very well. But Dodge is very notorious for having a lot of issues with their trucks and their cars and stuff like that. And I know that they're trying to fix it. But I am a little disappointed, and I'm just kind of explaining to you why I don't like Dodge. I'm a Ford and Chevy guy all the way. And a lot of you might not like that, I'm sorry. But the reason is because a good example is Dodge Rams. The only real difference that they made the Ram, other than updating the electronics, is the Rebel. The Ram has almost always looked the same for years since it was the old body style, but it's like since, I don't know the exact year, I think it's like the early 2000s, or maybe late 2000s, like in the 2010 area, maybe. The Dodge Ram has looked the exact same. The only difference, again, electronics they've updated. But those trucks notoriously have issues. And if you do own a Ram and you haven't had an issue, that's good for you. I hope you don't, and I hope it stays like that. But from my experience, I've seen more issues with Dodges than I have with Chevys and Fords. Now, that's not to say that some Chevys are better than some Dodges. I'm saying Dodge overall is not a good car brand in my opinion, except for the Charger and Challenger. Now Ford and Chevy, that's kind of where I would lean more towards, because Ford has always been a reliable car company. It's been so reliable. I've had Ford, my family's had Ford for years. My dad has had a Ford since 2000. My family, let's see. Believe it or not, we used to be a Honda family, which sucked. We were a Honda family in 2005, and then 2006 is when my dad was not a huge fan of Honda, and so he sold our minivan and his Civic and got us a Ford Fusion and a Ford F-150. And the Fords that we have had over the years have barely ever given us issues. We've had to take it in for checkups, of course, and stuff like that, but like overall, maybe one or two issues throughout all of our Ford vehicles. And then Chevys, again, they're good. I'm not as big of a fan with them as I am with Ford. I don't know. I like Ford a lot better. Dodge is, the way it goes is it goes Ford, Chevy, GMC, Dodge. Eris. Stop. But yeah, you got Ford, Chevy, GMC, Dodge. But with that being said too, if you guys own a Dodge, no hate to you guys. We all need trucks for certain reasons. We all need certain vehicles because not only do we like them, but we have our own opinions on them. You know, it could very well be that you guys own Dodges and you guys have never had an issue in your life. Well, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Overall, it really comes down to what makes you happy. So that was just kind of an opinionated powwow. I'd really like to know what you guys think. Yeah, I didn't really cover Nissans and stuff because I'm not a huge fan of those either. Like I said, I'm a Ford or Chevy guy. Honda and Toyotas, there's only certain cars that I'd be like, huh, those are actually pretty decent. And that would be the Honda Civic and the Toyota Corolla because they're tough. Those things take a lot to destroy. So if you drive one of those, congrats. You've got that car for another 15 years. But yeah, so that was just kind of that little spiel on that powwow. I hope you guys enjoyed this powwow. Like I said, again, I am in no way putting down anybody who owns anything other than a Ford or Chevy. You know, I would really like to hear why you guys like what you like. If you guys really like Dodge and you're a Dodge family, let me know. I would love to know why and see why you guys like enjoy Dodge so much. Is it the luxury? Is it the electronics? You know, have you tried Ford or Chevy? Those kind of things. This isn't really a debate. This is just me trying to get to know you guys and let you guys know what I like. I'll tell you right now, the car that I drive, the Ford Escape, is incredible. I mean, hopefully I can get a truck here soon, but that's probably down the line. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button. It was good talking to you guys again. I really enjoyed it. Let's see. Twittergram, TikTok links are in the description. We got an inspection to do here in a bit. The vlog I will be starting the vlog here in just a bit as well. And then we are going back out to work today. So, hope you guys have a fantastic day.